Hey y'all, what's up? My name's Kelsey K, otherwise known as Kelsey K MUA, and I wanted to thank you so much for being here today. Well guys, today's video is going to be really exciting. So today we are going to be doing a shadow wars. So here I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, and I also have a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Velvet Rose palette. So these are nearly almost identical. So I am really excited to do kind of like a comparison, like side by side. I'm gonna do the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow on this side, and then we're gonna do the Makeup Revolution on this side. But I'm also gonna do kind of like a get ready with me as well, just kind of like a little bit chit chatty. I'm gonna be telling you guys a little bit about what's gonna be going on in my life in the next couple of weeks. So let's go ahead and just jump right on into it, okay? Okay. Okay guys, so first priming my face with the Morphe Equalizer Face Primer. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of that on my finger. I guess I'm more just gonna try to pat it in actually because I want my foundation to last all day long. Okay, so for foundation today, I am gonna be using the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Foundation. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and get this built up just to a nice like soft finish. I don't wanna like have it be too full coverage. That's okay, because when I had tested this out before, I was like, oh, it's supposed to be full coverage, and then it kind of wasn't, so I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Okie dokie, so kind of dewy. I think I'm definitely gonna want to powder this down. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into concealer first. So for concealer today, I'm gonna be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C2, and I'm just gonna go ahead and plop that here under my eye. Now, granted guys, I'm gonna let you know right now, this is a lot of concealer, like especially if you are looking to kind of just, you know, just conceal your under eye area and you're not looking to brighten. You do not need to use this much concealer. I was actually at a networking event not too long ago, and I had so many people that were like, oh my gosh, like, you know, your makeup looks so good, it looks like you're really not wearing any. And I'm like, girl, thank God, because I'm wearing like 6 tons worth of makeup, like, oh my gosh. But they're like, really? Oh my gosh, it doesn't look like it. But I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you should have been with me getting ready this morning because, yeah. For somebody who's not used to wearing as much makeup as I do, it can kind of look like I'm wearing a metric boatload of foundation and just makeup in general, because I kind of am. But I mean, for me, I kind of just do this just because this is kind of the way that I learned how to do my makeup, and I don't mind looking like a piece of plastic every single day. I mean, I don't look plasticky, at least I hope I don't. But I don't mind looking like I'm stepping off the runway every single day. I don't mind it. I don't mind looking flawless every single day. Looking like I'm about to go to the prom every day of my life. I don't mind it. And then to powder everything down, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Coty Loose Airspun powder. Taking my sponge, dipping it in there, and just kind of going under the under eyes. Okay guys, so let me go ahead and kind of fill you guys in on why I kind of wanted to have this kind of like little chit chat with you. So the fall semester is going to be starting very soon. So here we're in, right now it's the end of August, and I have my fall semester starting on September 4th. I'm gonna have absolutely no time to film. I'm not gonna have time to edit. Like usually videos take me about 2 to 2.5 hours to edit, just because I have to go through all the footage. I have to go through and make sure that everything is the way that I want it to be. I need to like add music if I want to, and just like, you know, cut stuff out, put stuff in, things like that. So it does take me a really long time to edit videos. So once my semester starts, I'm really not gonna have a whole lot of time to do all of that, because I'm taking 15 credits on top of an internship and on top of working and trying to run a house. So yeah, but I wanted to thank everyone so much for all of their support. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and contour today with the Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze Bronzer. And I love this because it's super cool toned, it's great for contouring, but at the same time it looks very natural. I'm really sad because I have not been able to find this in any Ulta store lately, and I'm just like, oh, I really hope that they have it online. I just haven't checked recently, but I know that if I were to go on their website, I would spend way too much money. Gonna go ahead and hit my little nosy posy just to give it a little bit of shape there, and hitting this jawline to make me not look like I have a double chin. Gonna go ahead and just kind of comb up the brow hairs really quick. Okay, so just taking the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Taupe and just kind of filling in the brows. Okay, so now that the brows are all filled in, let's just go ahead and keep these little puppies in place with some clear brow gel. Okay, so now that the complexion is done, we're gonna go ahead and hit the lids with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer. Just to be fair, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on both sides, so then we can't say like, oh, well, you know, it's because you use the Anastasia primer with the eyeshadows instead of blah, blah, blah. Like, we're just gonna keep it on even. Okay, so now that my eyelids are primed, so I have here the two different eyeshadow palettes. So obviously Makeup Revolution on top, Anastasia Beverly Hills on the bottom here. Ooh, should we do comparison swatches? I think so. I think we should do some swatches. Okay, I've not, you know, this will be the first time I've ever done swatches on my channel, so you're in for a real treat. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and kind of dip my fingers here into this first shade. So this one here is Tempera. I don't know if this is gonna show up on my arm. And so here we go with that first Anastasia shade, Tempera. Yeah, it comes off nice. It's very, very similar to my skin tone, so you really can't see it. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch right next to that, the Makeup Revolution shade. Yeah, they're very similar, especially even in consistency too. You really can't see that. Okay, so the next shade I'm gonna swatch is going to be this shade here, Glistening, and I wanna say that the shade that's closest to that would probably be this one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch those two side by side. Okay, so here we have Glistening. And then taking that Makeup Revolution shade right next to it. Yeah. As far as formula goes, I want to say that the Anastasia is definitely much more smooth. They're much more creamy than the Makeup Revolution ones. So even though this one here, the Anastasia is a little bit more chunky just here at the top, but they both went on pretty smoothly though. Okay, let's go ahead and try a deeper matte shade. Let's go ahead and try the shade right here, Mulberry. And then I am going to do this one here. I think that one's the comparative shade. Okay, so taking that shade Mulberry. Ooh, very pigmented. Oh my gosh, you see that? Like, oh my gosh, that came off like butter. Goodness gracious. So that's a really, really pretty shade. Okay, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and take that Makeup Revolution shade. Yeah, this one went on really well too, but a little bit patchy, a little bit chalky. But in general, like the shades are very, 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 very similar in color. The texture, obviously, the Anastasia one was a little bit more dry obviously, than the shimmers. And the Makeup Revolution shade was a little bit more chalky. However, I do think that both of these perform well on the eye because I have used both palettes before, but I just have never used them side by side in comparison to each other, like in a video. I think I did do one on my Instagram once though. Okay, what should we do next? Let's go ahead and take Dusty Rose right here, and then we'll do the comparing shade right there. Okay, so taking Dusty Rose. This one didn't come off as well. Yeah, not so bad. Okay, and then taking the Makeup Revolution shade. Yeah, I mean, like these both didn't swatch like super well, but you can tell that they're very, very close in color. Very, very similar. Okay, so next shade I think I'm gonna swatch is gonna be this one right here, Sultry, and then the matching shade right there. I really wanna see how these shimmers are gonna look side by side. So taking Sultry from the Anastasia palette. Ooh, beautiful. Oh my gosh, it glides like freaking butter. That is such a freaking pretty shade too. I never realized that it's almost like a brown, but it's got like the reflex of like pink in there too. So, oh gosh, gorgeous. And then right next to that, taking that Makeup Revolution shade. Ooh, this one goes on just as good. Ooh, do you see that? Ooh, so pretty. And this one, these colors are almost identical, I swear to you. But this one, oh my gosh, they are like twins. I think next I'm gonna go ahead and try out the matte right here, Cypress Umber. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that one and then compare that one to this shade right here. Okay, so swatching Cypress Umber. Ooh, very, very pretty. A little bit chalky, but that's okay. Like the pigmentation is beautiful though. It's really nice. Okay, and then taking that Makeup Revolution shade right next to it. Ooh, yeah, kind of patchy. Yeah, you can see how it's a little bit chalky, like it's not nearly as deep as the Anastasia shade. But like if I go back in and do it again, yeah, I mean, still not nearly as much pigmentation, but we'll see how it goes. Also keep in mind, guys, that eyeshadows are not meant to be finger swatched like this. They're not meant to be like, you know, swatched on your arm and worn like that. Obviously, they're meant to be worn on your eyes. So don't ever judge an eyeshadow based on how it performs on your arm. Always judge how it performs on your eye underneath an eyelid primer. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and do two last ones. I wanna definitely do the black shades, this Noir shade, and do that one. So from the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, gonna go ahead and swatch the black Noir. Ooh. That one's super pigmented. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? That's awesome. Okay, and then go ahead and take that Makeup Revolution shade. Oh, that was not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely not nearly as pigmented as the one from the Anastasia palette. I did kind of have to blend it a little bit more, but that's okay. Sometimes especially when it comes to black eyeshadow, you don't want something that's like super duper duper pigmented, because if you just want a little bit of shadow, a little bit's gonna go a long way. But unless you're going for like legit like black eyeshadow, like you might not want something that's this pigmented. Okay, last shade to swatch. What should we do? We're gonna go ahead and swatch Bronze here with its matching shade. I believe is this one up here. Yeah, because this Glistening was that one, and then I think this is supposed to be the dupe for Fairy. So yeah, let's go ahead and do Bronze and then that one, that shade. Okay, so swatching Bronze from the Anastasia palette. Ooh. Yeah, the shimmer shadows are kind of chunky. They're not like terrible or anything, but like, oh my gosh. Like so pretty. Okay, and then gonna go ahead and take that Makeup Revolution shade right next to it. Ooh, you know what? I think this is the first of the Makeup Revolution shades that I think kind of like outperformed the Anastasia one. Like, see how much more like vibrant that is? Ugh. See if I can get this all off my arm now. Let's go ahead and zoom you guys on in so you can go ahead and see these eyeshadows side by side. Okay, so over here on my left side, I'm going to go ahead and use the Anastasia palette, and then on the right hand side, we're gonna go ahead and use the Makeup Revolution palette. And I am going to be using the same brush. Well, not like the same brush throughout the whole thing, but I wanna be able to use the same style of brush for each eye so that then the blending comes out the same, so that then by the end we can truly say like, okay, this one blended out better than this one, or so on and so forth. We know that the colors are already pretty much almost identical, so we shouldn't have an issue with that. Okay, so taking a large fluffy blending brush, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade right here. So taking Tempera and just kind of gliding that on all over the lid to set down that eyeshadow primer. Helpful tip, if you powder down your eyeshadow primer, you can get a much easier blend, because then it'll be easier for all of your shadows to kind of glide on over top. Now, if you're looking for much more pigment payoff and a lot more like color out of your eyeshadows, you want to go in with more of a wet eyeshadow base. However, that's more of an advanced trick. So if you are kind of just starting out with eyeshadow, or you're not really sure, like, you know, what you really want to do, or like, you know, really like what type of eyeshadow look you're going for, you might just want to set down that lid. You can either use a matte colored bone shade like that Tempera shade, or you can just go ahead and use your translucent powder. It's up to you. So the Makeup Revolution side, I'm going to go ahead and take the comparative color, I guess you should say. They don't really have shade names. They, like, on the back of the palette, it just has like numbers. So I guess we can just call this shade 1, really. And on a more dense, fluffy blending brush, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade right here, Burnt Orange, and I'm going to go ahead and run that through the crease. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm having to sit here and blend this out for like ever. So I wanted to keep this shade much higher, closer to the brow bone, because I do have hooded eyes. So I am basically creating a new lid and a new brow area. Or sorry, not a new brow area. I'm creating a new like crease area. And so then on the Makeup Revolution side, I'm gonna go ahead and take that comparative shade. This one here, I guess it's just called shade 10. I do find that this one is much easier to blend out right off the bat. It's not nearly as dark, so like the colors are not identical. This one here is a little bit more fair. It's a little bit lighter, but that is okay. Yeah, this one was definitely easier to blend out, and I feel like it's much more like fluffy. I'm able to get this one to kind of spread out a little bit easier. This was a little bit more what I wanted and a little bit more of like that blown out look, but that's okay. I see it like, cause the Anastasia side, like it like stuck right where I put it, which isn't like a bad thing, but with my transition shades, I do tend to like to blow them out just a little bit more, just because then I feel like that when I go in with like those deeper shades, it kind of blends into that transition shade a little bit better. So then it's more of a clean look. Going back into the Anastasia palette, I'm gonna go ahead and run this shade right here, Sienna, just underneath that burnt orange color. So just taking little tiny circles from the outside of the lid to the inside, and then with windshield wiper motions kind of back and forth, just underneath the burnt orange shade. Okay, so then on the Makeup Revolution side, I'm gonna go ahead and take the comparative shade right here. Actually, is that the same shade? Yes? No? Actually, I think that this one is a little bit closer to Sienna. This one, I think that one's a little bit closer to Sienna. It looks like it could be this one, but when you hold them up side by side, yeah, see how like those two shades are much closer than like the more orange one? Actually, I don't know. I'm so confused. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with this one. I honestly think that that's the closest one. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely this shade. Okay. I want to make sure that my technique is uniform across the board so that then we don't end up with two different looking eyes. Okay, so far guys, I can tell you right now that the Makeup Revolution side is definitely easier to blend out. However, the Anastasia side is much more pigmented. But all in all, I think that they're looking pretty similar so far. I unfortunately did kind of take this one out a little bit too far, so I'm going to go ahead and just without any additional product, I'm gonna see if I can kind of like blend this one down a little bit further into the outer corner of the eye. Okay, on a smaller, more detailed brush, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade right here, Mulberry, and I'm gonna pack that on the outer corner. These matte shades in the Anastasia palette are so soft. Like you just dip your brush in and it seriously feels like you're dipping into like baby powder or something. They're so soft. So just trying to kind of like pat on the shadow, make sure that it's like super, super dark and sultry. Just really pack that bad boy on. And then just with really, 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 really tiny circles, I am just gonna try to kind of blend the top of this deeper shade into the rest of the crease. And then for the Makeup Revolution side, I'm gonna go ahead and take the comparative shade and also pack that on the outer corner. For those of you wondering, yes, I'm gonna take the opposite side of the brush. Okay, so going back to the Anastasia eye, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this shade right here, Soft Pink, across the entire lid. Ooh, so soft. Just gonna go ahead and pack this on. This is a really, really pretty look. I honestly love the Soft Glam palette. Oh my gosh. And just like the Makeup Revolution one too, but like I just love these shades. I love like rosy toned, like fall type shades like this, and they're just so pretty. There's a part of me that's like, oh, everybody's like, I can't wait for fall. And I'm like, oh, I can definitely wait for fall, that's for sure. I'm a spring baby. I was born in April, so I love spring. I love floral prints and pastels and all like the birds are singing, and it just makes me really, really excited, and yeah. But here in Michigan, everybody loves to just be like in love with fall. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, pumpkin spice everything. And don't get me wrong, like I love pumpkin spice just as much as the next person, but like for the love of Pete, can I just like keep working on my tan, please and thank you? Yeah. And then on the Makeup Revolution side, I'm gonna go ahead and take the comparative shade, this one right here, and pack that on the lid as well. Ooh, I really like the way that this one looks with like the rest of these. It's really pretty. Dang, man. Oh, these eye looks are nearly almost identical. I do want to kind of take a little bit more of like the first like burnt orange shade and kind of run that through the crease over here, just because I feel like it just didn't get high enough. Because this one, see how like, this is what I love. Like I love being able to get like a really, really beautiful blend kind of up here towards towards the brow, just so that then it's like more seamless, it's a little bit more sultry, it's kind of blown out. Like I love that. This, where it's like eyeshadow and then no eyeshadow, like drives me absolutely bonkers. Okay, and then to go ahead and see how these eyeshadows apply with a finger, I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade right here called Fairy. I'm gonna pop that right on the middle of the lid, right on top of that pinky rose gold shade. Oh, so pretty. Oh, dang, like dang. And I'm also gonna go ahead and take whatever's left on my finger there and just go ahead and pop that on the inner corner. And then just a little bit on the brow bone. So nice. Okay, and then on the Makeup Revolution side, I'm gonna go ahead and take the comparative shade and do the same thing. Ah, scam. Yeah, this one was not as easy to like get on. I feel like I have to kind of like drag a little bit at my eye in order to get any sort of payoff. The Anastasia shadow came off my finger and applied to the eye much easier than this. But it's still pretty. Yeah, I'm having to kind of just like tug a little bit there. Yeah. Oh, I was really hoping that we would have like this grand finale or something, and it just didn't work out. Okay, so I'm not gonna put any more additional product on this brush because I feel like this is just kind of not fair. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just take that blending brush that I used for that burnt orange shade, and I'm just gonna kind of blow out this outer edge really quick. Yeah, it's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. Okay, however, we are going to go ahead and do the lower lash line. Let's go ahead and take that same brush, go back into burnt orange, and really, really blow out this lower lash line. Like I'm gonna drag down the shade a little bit farther than I normally would because I really want to add in that mulberry shade closer to the lash line. And then the same thing with the comparative shade on the Makeup Revolution side. So back to the Anastasia palette, gonna go ahead and run that shade Mulberry very, very tight to the lower lash line so that then it gives a really, really nice like deep, sultry look. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pinch my brush just a little bit so I can really concentrate that shade. Okay, and then gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the Makeup Revolution side. I feel like this is much deeper. Okay guys, so I think that's it as far as eyeshadow. I really, really like the way that these two eyes kind of turned out. I really do wish that I could have gotten a little bit more gold here. I might fix that up a little bit later. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera and then we will finish up in a sec. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I'm dying over this lipstick right now. Like, oh my gosh, like I love a red lip so much. Okay guys, but yeah, so let me know down in the comments below which side you think outperformed the other. Did you like the Anastasia eye look or did you prefer the Makeup Revolution? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love both of these palettes so very much. I am going to continue to use both probably until I run out of both of them. But let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite, and if you have any other eyeshadow dupes. I have quite a few Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. Let me know if there are any dupes out there for any of these Anastasia palettes, and if you want me to compare them side by side. Let a girl know. And so I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a big ol' thumbs up. It helps other people find this video. But if you want to help other people find this video even faster, you can go ahead and share this video so that your friends and family can see it. And subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell so you'll be notified of when I upload. And so then you can see more videos of me doing stuff like this. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye y'all!